Hello out there, YouTubers. How do you get a tattoo apprenticeship? Is the question I get asked more than any other one from people who want to learn how to tattoo. If that sounds like you, welcome to my channel. This is my introduction video, and my movies and videos are going to go over that exactly. How to get a tattoo apprenticeship, how to do tattoo style art, how to do tattoo style art so you can make stickers, so you can make t-shirts, so you can make a solid portfolio so you'll be able to walk into a tattoo shop and get an apprenticeship in whatever town you live in. My name is Colt. I've been tattooing a little over 13 years now, and I've owned my own shop for 5 years, and I stay busy even through the slow season. And I feel blessed for that reason, and I'm willing to pass on the information to you if you watch and practice the different things that I show you. Also, if you didn't have a full apprenticeship or didn't have the best apprenticeship, this is going to fill in the gaps on what you might have missed. Maybe you were just mopping around the shop and cleaning up for somebody who was your mentor, and they weren't really showing you the important things about tattooing and how to make money or anything about tattooing. You were just getting used. I've been through that. I did have a real apprenticeship. It was a little over 7 years long, and it was a good apprenticeship, but it wasn't a typical apprenticeship. It was not a traditional apprenticeship. It was more of what was a non-traditional apprenticeship. My mentor focused on the art side of tattooing and creating good art as much as showing me what was important about tattooing. And later on, I ended up trying to take on a second apprenticeship as a traditional at a traditional shop, and it was much like every other traditional apprenticeship that I've ever seen, where I was just more or less abused for what I could provide for the shop, and that was about it. My first apprenticeship, my first apprenticeship was with a guy named Paul Lunetta, who is somewhat the Bob Ross of tattoos. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's quite an amazing artist, and you'll see a lot of his art. And he's a very good artist. He's well-rounded and can do anything, but he chooses to do one style and stays busy in that, and that's awesome too. I mean, that's the goal one day, tattooing, but I think it's important to learn tattooing from all aspects and be able to do whatever walks in the door, especially in the small town that I live in. It keeps you busy, being able to do anything that walks in the door, not sticking to one style. I tattooed under him for 7 years, and it was a tough apprenticeship in its own way. I had to travel an hour and a half one way to get to where I was apprenticed by him, and that was 3 hours a day and 3 or 4 times a week showing up at the shop. The math on that is right around 500-600 hours of driving every year. And had I focused that time into tattooing, or had that extra time as a tattooer, it would have gone a lot, quicker, my whole apprenticeship probably. I mean, but I only apprenticed for about a year before I was able to make money. And, I've been able to make money ever since, and I make good money. I took on a second apprenticeship under a more traditional guy, and it was a lot of I took under a second apprenticeship under a guy, and it was much like a traditional tattoo apprenticeship where he didn't show me much and just used me for cleaning the shop so that he could make more money. And I guess that's supposed to build character, but I think a strong leader does, everything that they should and shows that, by at least by example, cleaning the shop and all that. I still mop the shop all the time in my own shop 13 years later. I'm not above that. I work hard and I stay humble, and that's a big part of tattooing, is being able to do that and not being above all that cleaning. And I will be posting time lapses as part of my videos, and I think that's an important aspect of learning, is watching tattoos. I sat for months watching tattoos, and before I was able to even touch a machine or anything, and that's kind of hard to do. I mean, you're watching everything in real time, so the time lapses make everything a lot faster, and you'll be able to watch a 3-hour tattoo in 3 minutes. I mean, that has its own benefits, and the more tattoos you watch, the better tattoo artist you're going to be able to be, or more creative ideas you'll be able to spin off things that you see or catch, and watching techniques and what have you. And that aspect of my apprenticeship was hard for me, mainly because I found out in my recent years that I have ADD, and just being able to focus on watching somebody for hours at a time was its own battle. And everything in this new fast-paced world that we're in, everything comes faster and faster, and you don't have the luxury of sometimes just sitting around for hours and watching somebody do something. But that is the reason that I will be posting time lapses of my tattoos, so that you'll be able to watch those and be able to get a feel for what's going on with certain situations, different body parts that are getting tattooed, or the process of doing a tattoo, going through line work and shading, and sometimes color, depending on which the tattoo is and stuff. So if any of that interests you and that's what you're into, and this is where your heart is, please like my channel and subscribe and leave a comment. I will be going over different topics that are important to tattooing and doing a solid tattoo, and what I think is important for the foundation of a good tattoo apprenticeship, and going over traditional rules that carry on as a foundation to expanding into other styles. I think tradition is a valid style that holds up over time, and there's a reason that the rules carry over into other tattoo styles, and what's going to hold up over the test of time, whether it be neo-traditional, new school, realism even. All of them are tied together for a reason. So if there's a certain topic that you want to go over and cover, please leave it in the comments and let me know. I will be going over line work, shading, color theory, and a few other topics that I really think are important to tattooing. So thank you if you followed this far along in my video. thank you for your time, and hope to get to know all of you guys. Have a good day.